Well, hello, boys and girls, and welcome to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and this is the review of the brand new action adventure comedy animated film Transformers 1. And this film is directed by Josh Cooley. The voice talents include Chris Hemsworth, Brian Tyree Henry, Scarlett Johansson, Keegan Michael Key, Steve Buscemi, Lawrence Fishburne, and John Hamm, just to name a few. And this is the first theatrical animated feature film from the Transformers franchise since Transformers the movie, all the way back there in 1986 when I begged my dad to bring me to go see that movie, and it traumatized me for life. This is a film that I'm gonna just tell y'all straight off the bat, I was not excited for. And it's weird to say that because I am a huge, no pun intended, huge Transformers guy. I mean, this is my childhood. I like I said, when that movie came out in '86, the animated film, I begged my dad to bring me to go see that movie, and he did. Only for the first 10 minutes in, when Optimus Prime died, I was traumatized my entire life after that. I was like, no, how can you kill Optimus Prime? And they did it. Well, this go around, we see the origin of Optimus Prime. Watching the trailers of this, I was like, man, this is a Nickelodeon, made for TV movie. It just did not catch me. The second trailer came out, it just did not hook me. It was nothing about this that screamed, Kevin, you need to run to the theater and watch this movie. And I don't know why. Nothing appealed to me. I mean, the animation looked decent, I wasn't ragging on that, but the voice talents kind of threw me off when they say, okay, Chris Hemsworth is Optimus Prime. Okay, I don't see it, or definitely don't hear it, but okay. And Brian Tyree Henry, no stranger of voiceover work. He provides a voice in the Spider-Man films, the Beyond the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse and all that. Okay, he does a good job with that. But as Megatron, I don't see it, but okay. And Keegan Michael Key, very funny, love him. He is hilarious in everything he's in. And I was like, in Transformers, not really feeling it. So long story short, short story long, this film didn't grab me. At least the marketing didn't. And I just chalked it up to, I'm not the demographic for this. This is for the kids. And I was like, okay, I get it. I didn't hate on it. It's just nothing I look to seek out and watch. Well, this film is the origins and the early relationship between Optimus Prime and Megatron, and how they have forever changed the fate of Cybertron, which is the home planet of Transformers. Of course, I'm pretty sure you knew that, but that was another thing. I'm like, okay, they're gonna do this. They're gonna make Optimus and Megatron best buds and basically brothers. I'm not feeling it. I just didn't feel it. Can they pull this off? Well, as I mentioned earlier, this film is directed by Josh Cooley. Josh Cooley, is, I should have looked this up before, because I looked it up after I watched the film I'm going to tell you the reasons why. But to see what else has he done. He directed Toy Story 4. And if I'd have known that going in, I probably would have had a different perspective. But actually, maybe not. I went into this with very low expectations. Like I said, wasn't really looking forward to it. I just, as a Transformers fan, went to go see a Transformers movie. I went to go see all the other ones, all the live action ones. Some good, some not so good, but I went to go see them in theaters. Why skip out on this? This movie was amazing. I know it took 5 minutes to get to it, but this movie was amazing. This is the best Transformers film ever. And I waited. I mauled over it. I meditated on it. I really didn't want to just come out here and leap out the window. You know how people are like, oh, this is the best burger I ever had, and that's the only burger place you've been to. And so it's true, but you really didn't open your mind up for anything else. And same thing here. This is like, recency bias. You like, oh yeah, because I haven't seen the other ones in a while. But this one is fresh in my mind. I'm like, man, this is the best ever. And then a year, probably won't even take that long, down the line, you think about it like, well, not so much. I like part 3 better, or whatever the case may be. No, not with me. Not with me. Y'all may feel differently, and that's fine. Film is subjective. Everybody has their own opinions. As for me, who grew up a Transformers fan, watching the animated series, who collected some of the toys, got older, and as a grown man, running to the theater to see Transformers, the Michael Bay film, dragging my family who knew nothing about these robots in disguise, to every single Transformers film. I love this franchise, and my love is renewed with this film. Everything that I had a problem with going into this film, or not so much problem, question marks surrounding, was done. I have none, not none. Let's start off. Start off with the list that I threw out there. The voice cast. Chris Hemsworth as Optimus Prime and Brian Tyree Henry as Megatron, which they're named something else in the film before we get to the actual names that we know and love them by. Chris Hemsworth, who I just could not picture as Optimus Prime. And I say picture like he's live action or something, but my ears just didn't ring Chris Hemsworth's voice. As much as I enjoy him in as Thor and other projects that he's in, I just couldn't hear it. I just could not singled out Optimus Prime. But he managed to do it. He managed to humanize the voice. Yet, as the story goes on, as this character grows throughout this film, he earns it, and it's like he matures. His character matures from the opening line of dialogue that we first hear him to the very last shot of the movie, and the very last line spoken in the movie. It's like it's two different people, but it's the same person, and it was earned. Brian Tyree Henry, who I enjoy in live action, enjoy him in Atlanta, enjoyed him as a voiceover actor. I mentioned the Spider-Verse movies. He's amazing. He's an amazing performer. I just could not hear Megatron. Once again, from the first line of dialogue that we hear him speak to the very last line of dialogue that he speaks in this film, it's like it's two different people, but it's the same exact person, and it is earned. It's unbelievable the journey that these characters go through. This movie had no business being an animated film, even though I get it, but you forget. I forgot. This is better than any Michael Bay live action film you ever gonna watch. Hands down. One, there's no humans in it. That's a plus. There are no human characters. This is set solely on Cybertron. And that's what the other films was missing. This film shows the origin, and I'm not getting spoilers and all that there. I need you to go see this for yourself. But this film does an amazing job of taking you on this journey. And it's not a kiddie film. Yeah, kids can watch it. Yes, of course, it's animated. It's for kids. Is no blood or oil being spilled or whatever. But it is gruesome. You know, it is brutal at points with these fighting robots. But it's such an adult, mature story that was being told that you can't help but be intrigued by it. You know what I'm saying? It's not nothing is given. And these little kids that's probably gonna go watch it may get lost a little bit by some of the adult type subject matter. And I'm not talking about uh, uh you know uh weird adult stuff that we you know this cursing and all this other stuff, or sex and all this. No, I'm not talking about that. But as far as growing and maturing, and that's basically what this film is about, you know, maturing. And it hits that sweet spot, right? I guess you could say tweeners. That is the sweet spot for what demographic this film is targeted at. This movie was amazing. I loved the animation, style. Once again, I thought I wasn't gonna not like, but you know, will be a far cry from some of the animation that we have seen in recent years. But it fits. This animation style fits, and it looks flawless. I mean, it looks beautiful. The way these characters are animated, the action sequences are. I mean, my God, I can't describe them. They're so well done, and you know, for so many characters that's in this movie and so much going on, you can follow everything. It isn't messy looking. It looks so crisp, and you know, just so much thought put into it. I'm just impressed. Going back to the voice acting, Scarlett Johansson deserves a shout out. Keegan Michael Key deserves a shout out. Also, characters who evolved throughout the film. You know, every character has an arc. Every single character has an arc. I haven't seen that pulled off, not only in animation but in live action. It's hard to get characters in a short period of time, because this movie isn't long. It's only like an hour and 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. It's not that long, and they have a lot of story to tell, and it was told in a really unique and believable way. And I don't know how else to describe this film other than utterly amazing. This is clearly one of the best animated films to come out this year, if not film. I can honestly tell you with my whole chest that this is, you know, in my top 10 of the year. Easily in my top 10, maybe 5. But you'll be hearing this name, Transformers 1, when we start doing our end of the year list of best of 2024. This was a phenomenal film. Had a good time, and it taught me a valuable lesson to something I already knew, yet it feels good when it actually works, you know. And the lesson is, don't go in a film with high expectations. Go into a film just with an open mind. You know what I'm saying? Don't have, oh man, this is going to be awesome. Oh man, this movie going to suck or whatever. Just go into it just to watch it and see how it plays out. Because honestly, for those of you, and I know there's a lot of you out there who probably looked at the trailer or looked at the poster or heard somebody talk about it, like, I'm not going to see a cartoon. Trust me, it is much more than a cartoon. And if you are a Transformers fan, this is definitely the film for you. Transformers 1, currently in theaters, gets a letter grade of an A+. It is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. I honestly, I got tears in my eyes right now talking about it. I can't believe how good this movie was. This movie had no business being this good. No business being this good. But that's just one man's opinion. I would love to know yours. email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also search for the show on all social media platforms. Just search for the KB Radio Network. Also, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget about YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and like this video as well. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me for this review of Transformers 1. Want you all to know that I love you. Continue to love everyone. And until we speak again, you all be blessed.